Josh McDaniels, how we doing this week?
Good, Andy. How are you doing?
It's never great when you're laughing at my first question and it was how you doing. So we'll move right on to the next question, Josh. So in case people don't know, your brother Ben is on the staff of the Houston Texans. I heard you talk a little bit about it yesterday, but I'm actually most interested in how are your parents handling this? Who are they rooting for? Are they going to do the McCourty twins split jersey thing? Are they rooting for you because you're older? How does that play out?
Yeah, I think it's a blessing, honestly, to be in this position with your brother and your family, and it's be more difficult for them than they probably wished it was at the end, because one of us obviously will not continue to move on, and the other one will, and but I think we've tried to just tell them how grateful we are to both be in this position, and and I think they'll be happy for whomever continues to move forward, and certainly heartbroken for the one that doesn't. So, but all in all, I mean, you can't ask for much more growing up the son of a coach than to be with your brother in an opportunity like this on the line, and doing what we both love to do. Happy that my parents are healthy and able to be in attendance for it. You never know if you're ever going to get a chance to do this, and the fact that we do, we're both fortunate to be in this position.
It should be a pretty dynamic environment out there for your parents, your brother, yourself, and everyone on Sunday, Josh. But let's go back to last weekend's game, if you don't mind. Also a pretty dynamic environment. What were you happiest about offensively versus the Chargers last Sunday, and what would you like to clean up before the showdown against the Texans this Sunday?
I thought the guys really just continued to play hard. It's one of the best groups we've played all year, and certainly wasn't perfect, but that's playoff football. They're gonna make some plays, we're gonna make some plays, and you just have to stick with it. And they did, and grinded it out for 4 quarters and made enough plays to win the game and help our team. So we're going to need the same mentality this week for sure, and that's what we're looking forward to on Sunday.
Josh, you take about grinding it out and playoff football. You guys found the end zone once last week. Houston was in a 7-6 dogfight in the fourth quarter before their defense scored a couple touchdowns. I know as an offensive guy, you probably always want to think, oh, we're going to move the ball and score a bunch of points, but you have enough experience in the postseason. Do you have to kind of be realistic and be, not every drive is going to be perfect. Not every drive is going to end in a touchdown. Do you have to kind of rein in your hopes sometimes in the postseason?
I wouldn't say it that way. I think you have to understand what the game requires of you to win it. And whatever that means, it means. I've been a part of playoff games where you've needed, to score in the 30s to be victorious, and been a part of playoff games where you've needed a lot less and needed to do a good job of, situational football or taking care of it or what have you. So you go in with a plan, and the plan is, look, offensively, our job is to go out there and take care of the football and score points, period. We don't have any other jobs other than that. So, as the game unfolds and you find out what it is and how it's being played, you just have to change maybe some of the things that you go into the game thinking that you're going to do or need, if it's needed. So, we'll see. We'll see how this game goes. I've been a part of enough of them to know that whatever we think on a Friday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday during the week rarely comes to fruition. So you got to go in ready for anything, prepared to play your best and coach your best. And as the game unfolds, you got to do what you got to do to win.
So obviously you've gone up against some monster defenses and some very tenacious pass rushes in previous playoff outings, Josh. So where would you say this Texans pass rush ranks in terms of the intensity, the aggression, and the danger, 2007 Giants, 2015 Broncos, etc.?
I don't know exactly. I mean, look, history will determine those things, and certainly there's been some great groups we've competed against in the past. All I know is this one's really, really good. As good as we played all year, for sure. No question. Most importantly, playing probably the best that they've played all season, which is not a surprise. They're very well coached. They have really, really elite players at all three levels of the defense. It's a complete group. There's not just one or two guys that you have to handle. And you're going to need to stay in there and hang in there for 4 quarters, and you do the tough things well. There's no shortcuts this week for sure. We're going to need a lot of people to play well, and certainly as a unit, we're going to need some mental toughness, physical toughness, and great execution.
Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels here on a Patriots Monday on WEEI Afternoons. Just going back to last week, obviously there were a couple turnovers. Drake put the ball on the ground a couple times, and a lot of people were talking about, oh, he's holding on to the ball too long. Listening to you yesterday, I thought it was really interesting. You said you don't want to talk out of both sides of your mouth when you're coaching him in those situations, because we've all done it, right? He holds the ball for a second, steps up in the pocket, flicks it downfield, and it's a 30-yard gain. Do you basically just have to trust his instincts in those situations as terms of how to hold on to it, when to hold on to it, when to get rid of it? Because he has made a ton of plays in those situations.
Yes.
Oh, that was easy.
That's the answer.
Could you elaborate on that?
That's the answer.
Moving on, thank you.
That's the answer. No, Steph Curry, can make 12 3-pointers in a game, and every once in a while he's going to go 1 for 12, and what are you going to do? Tell him to stop shooting?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the reality is we all love the extensions of the plays. We all love the 3rd and 7 scrambles for first downs. I think it's very difficult to micromanage, the negative parts of that. Do we coach it? Does he know what he wants to do? Is he intent on trying to do the right things to help the team protect himself and protect the ball? 100%. So, again, is there a perfect landing every single week? Probably not. But we're going to try. We're going to try to hit it right. I know he's going to try to hit it right, but love the kid, love everything he does to help our team win, knows that that's all he has in his mind is to try to give us the best chance to be successful. So I trust him to nobody I'd trust more. So I'm excited for Sunday, and I know he is too.
How essential, Josh, do you believe, and going back to last Sunday, there was that awesome, I think it was 37-yard run where I think a lot of us that were watching at home on TV thought he was going to score. How essential will his legs be this week, and how essential overall will both his innate pocket presence and knowing when to take off, as well as the run game in general, be to kind of neutralize the intensity of that Texans defense?
It'll be, I'm sure, it'll be a factor at some point. I hope it's not too many plays. But look, it's part of what he does that helps our team win. So at some point, is he going to do it? And are we going to be grateful for it? Probably. Hopefully we do enough things well offensively that we don't need that on a regular basis. That would be the goal. But, whatever we need, whatever he needs to do to help us win, I'm sure he's going to do.
Your offensive line, you have a couple rookies on the left side that, had some ups and downs last week. I think they would acknowledge that. Without giving away the game plan, what are some of the things that come to mind in terms of this is a team game? How do we help those offensive linemen in matchups with, if we're being honest, just really elite players on the other side of the ball? What are some of the options at your disposal?
There's, at the end of the day, we have to execute the fundamentals and techniques that we need to do well. And if we can do those things well and then blend in, whatever the scheme is that we're attempting to use as the game moves on, then great. You can draw up the prettiest thing you want and you can have the greatest ideas in the world. But at the end of the day, what makes all those things come to life are the players. And, that's why they deserve every ounce of credit when you do well, because they're the ones out there earning it and doing the hard things. So I trust those guys. Look, playoff football is never, ever going to be perfect. It hasn't ever been for me in any game I've been a part of or any season. And I'm not going to go into Sunday thinking that it's going to be that way either. So they're going to make some plays. They have a lot of good players. They have great coaches and great players on their team, and that's why they're still playing. And so we understand that. And part of these kind of games is, okay, he made a play, on me, and now what do I have to do? I have to improve or learn from it and try to play my best going forward. So I think we had a good week of practice. We know what we're going to try to do to minimize the impact of some of those things that they do well. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to stick with it. Whatever happens, early in the game, we're going to have to continue playing and grinding it out.
You got 3 front office members, 5 coaches in some capacity, and 7 former players as well. That's an awful lot of former Patriots in and amongst the ranks of the Houston Texans. Do you give is there any, I won't say fear, Josh, how to best put this, any credence to the idea that the Texans have such a familiarity that it could be some sort of advantage to them as they go into the matchup with you guys?
No. I mean, whatever they know of our system, which, some of them are here, you're right. And we obviously know some of the things they're doing, all the rest of it. There's a lot made sometimes of that. And I think honestly, the impact of it is usually minimal. We change things week to week. We've changed things year to year. I think everybody does. And ultimately what this is going to come down to is how well we play and the things we do on the field between the lines, so nothing anybody talks about in a meeting this week, is going to, absolutely make or break the result of the game. And I'm sure there's some things that they've talked about, as there's probably things we have too, and do the best we can to play and coach as well as we can for 4 quarters on Sunday.
Josh, one of the things that stands out for this team beyond the success on the field and the execution and making plays is something we've talked about with the Red Sox in the summer: vibes, chemistry, whatever you want to call it, culture, locker room. And, we hear stories about Fridays and high school highlights and Will Campbell weather reports and all these things. Have you seen that continue this week? Are the vibes rolling into the postseason? Because a lot of assumptions are made that the pressure builds and guys get tight and then they're stressed and they're not having fun. Beyond a good practice, do you feel like the vibes have continued this week?
100%. 100%. The vibes are the same. So, I mean, we've done, every week has felt the same, honestly. Win or lose, Braves has done an incredible job of being consistent. And when we won or lost, same. And when we went from the regular season to the postseason, same. We all know what's at stake. We all know that the intensity is a little different and all the rest of it. But the reality is I think the way he's approached each week has been very consistent. It's been, I think, appreciated by everybody. And the way we go about doing our job, we try to focus and concentrate on the things we need to learn and do well during the week, but also enjoying it and having fun. And we got to enjoy these things. This is why we do it. These are the games that you're doing all that stuff for. So a lot of fun and look forward to Sunday for sure.
Been a while since you may have coached in a weather game like this as well, Josh. Could Mother Nature could be a factor? Does that add just a little something? Like, do you have any just in case it snows, tricks or plays in the old playbook or in the bag?
I mean, you just have to play the game as it needs to be played, and we'll see what the conditions are. We've practiced in most of them. I don't think that's, a surprise to anybody. I mean, we've practiced outdoors when it's been wet. We've practiced outdoors when it's been cold, when it's snowed, all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what it's like and adjust if we need to.
All right, Josh, congrats on the win last week. I hope you haven't been too stressed out this week with the challenge of that defense and the game plan. I hope as Bill used to say, I hope the hay is in the barn and you get some rest over the next couple of days. And good luck on Sunday against not only the Texans, but your brother. I hope it works out for you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, see you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.